Good evening. I'm Caitlin Collins, and this is The Source live from West Palm Beach, Florida tonight. That island behind me is the equivalent of the center of the political universe right now. That's where, at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club, the president-elect is preparing to regain power, starting with who will be working for him. I have new reporting for you tonight on the all-out war that is already playing out between those vying for the top jobs in Donald Trump's cabinet and inside the West Wing. One person likened it to the Hunger Games, except it's playing out on the patio of Mar-a-Lago. Almost immediately after it became clear on Tuesday night that Donald Trump was on his way to re-election, phones started ringing and those wanting major roles started forming alliances while trying to kill off others who were also under consideration for jobs that they are trying to get. Last night, I was told that almost every table at Mar-a-Lago was filled, and many people who are hoping to get a job have been seen on the grounds of the club in recent days. Names like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Tom Barrack, and Trump's transition co-chairs, who are the ones right now that are fronting this whole selection process. Things are moving so quickly that several people have actually booked flights here to South Florida to ensure that they can get FaceTime with Trump in the coming days when many of these decisions are expected to be made. One of the biggest jobs, though, has already been filled tonight. Trump announced earlier that his campaign manager and co-chair, Susie Wiles, will become the first ever woman as the White House chief of staff. For those of you who aren't familiar, Susie Wiles was the one that Trump called to the mics during his victory speech in the early hours of Wednesday morning.
Susie and Chris, the job you did. Susie, come here. Come here, Susie. Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The ice baby. We call her the ice baby. Thank you, Susie. Look at her. She's shy. I've never seen her be shy before. Susie.
She did not speak. She ended up calling her co-chair, Chris LaCivita, to the mic. But I'm told that by sources that Trump was urged to move quickly tonight in naming a chief of staff faster than he did in 2016. He named his chief of staff the following Sunday after he was elected because they argued that it allows for there to be a power center instead of having everyone call Trump directly as they are trying to get these jobs that I just told you about. Though, of course, we are talking about Donald Trump here. And as we know, he often likes to be right in the middle of the battle. With me here in Florida tonight is CNN's Kristen Holmes, has been reporting on the transition staffing battle that's underway. On Susie Wiles, she might be someone that people aren't familiar with, but she is a real powerhouse in terms of influence on Donald Trump and running his campaign and just being around him in the last 4 years, but especially the last two, most critically.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to keep in mind about her is just how loyal she's been. I mean, there was a time in 2021 when nobody would talk to Donald Trump, or at least most people were trying to distance themselves from him. She was by his side. I remember being at Mar-a-Lago when those election results came in 2022. He threw a fit because he was watching them come in. He thought his candidates were going to win. They did not. She was there by his side. I remember seeing the announcement and just 2 weeks later that he made that he was going to be running again. She was by his side. She has put up with a lot from former President Donald Trump. We know she has been subpoenaed, she has been through the ringer, and she has stuck with him. Now, one of the things that she does best is she says that she controls the chaos. She knows Donald Trump. She understands she's never going to have full control over him, and she's not going to try. But she believes that she can control the people around him and the chaos around him. And she's a very interesting pick. And one of the things I want to point out about your reporting that I find so fascinating is this power center idea, because that was really her job on the campaign, too. Yeah. I mean, people go to her to get to him. And she had created an environment where people felt like they needed to go through her to get to him, unlike in previous campaigns and administration where people just try to get to him directly.
Yeah, but our colleague Steve Contorno had interesting reporting about basically she had conditions on taking the job. It reminded me of when General John Kelly became chief of staff, and he was saying he didn't want it to be how it was before when others were running it, because he wanted to assume, you know, full control over who was coming into the West Wing, who's coming into the Oval Office, because as Donald Trump, you know, as we know, he's easily influenced by the last person he speaks to.
Yeah, and I loved that part about Steve Contorno's reporting about the clown car, like not just showing up at the White House, because part of what Susie Wiles did on the campaign was control the chaos, and that meant limiting access to Donald Trump. And she, for most of the campaign, controlled the flight manifest so that she would always know who is going to be
who gets on the plane.
and who was going to have access to him at that time, and times trying to stop certain people. Now, obviously, she couldn't always stop everyone from getting on the plane, and she has told people around her she picks her battles when it comes to the former president, but she has created a role for herself in which she controls the chaos, or at least manages it when it's around him.
Yeah, and of course, Trump had 4 chiefs of staff in his first
Right.
term. Just for comparison, Biden has had half of that. He's had 2 chiefs of staff since he's been in office. But when it comes to the other top jobs that we're looking at here, obviously Attorney General is a really big one. What is the latest that you've heard on who's going for that and what that decision-making process looks like?
Yeah, so, I mean, the reason why that's so important is because of what Donald Trump himself has said. And we know that he wants to basically expand the power of the executive. Technically, the Department of Justice falls under the executive branch. However, it has operated independently to not look like it's currying favor to the White House or doing things at the president's behest. Donald Trump wants to change that. So part of the reason that the AG is so important is he has to pick somebody who's going to go along with that, who is going to help dismiss the cases against him, who's going to look into firing Jack Smith, something he said that he wants to do. So that person is going to be critical. Now, we know a couple of names that have been on the list. I believe you had one name that you reported out today as well, but we've also heard Senator Mike Lee. And one of the interesting things about Mike Lee is that someone who's very close to him is actually running the personnel side of the justice team for the transition. So there's that's interesting. We also heard John Ratcliffe was somebody who was in the running for that. I think that right now the conversations are still being had. He's still being vetted, and Donald Trump is taking a lot of advice incoming, as you said, working the phones.
Yeah, the one name that Manu Raju and I heard it was the Missouri Attorney General. Andrew Bailey, he actually just got reelected on Tuesday night to his first full term. He's been serving in that role for 2 years. He's sued the Biden administration over the student loans. He's on Fox News a lot, so it's not surprising that he's a name. But obviously, this is the position, J.D. Vance said, whoever is the Attorney General, he believes is actually even more important than his job, which is obviously notable given he's a heartbeat away from the presidency.
Well, I mean, one of the things Donald Trump wants to do is weaponize the Department of Justice. He wants to use it for retribution. He wants to clear his name. He wants to have complete control. As an extension, he never understood his first term why that was the case. I mean, part of the reason he famously fired Jeff Sessions was because he couldn't understand why Jeff Sessions was not going along with what he wanted to do. So this is going to be the opportunity that Donald Trump didn't have last time around to grow the power of the executive and effectively treat the Department of Justice as an extension of that.
You know, what's interesting about this is the background check process of all of this. These are obviously very critical positions. National security clearances come with a lot of them. And because the Trump administration or the Trump team has not signed these ethics agreements or memorandums of understanding with the Biden team, the FBI is not doing background checks on anyone, which typically that's a process they could have started a few months ago.
Right.
And I had heard that they were floating doing their own background checks, which obviously is not equivalent to the FBI level.
It's not. They're trying to figure out loopholes for getting around the background check, and I've heard this too. The same thing. It's how do you not have the most extensive background check? You still use law enforcement, but there's a way to do it where you don't essentially go through the rigorous process that they went through back in 2016. Now, as we know, a lot of his people that he put up in 2016 ended up not passing background checks, so that was an issue. People getting escorted out of the White House. That was huge. Then the other part of this is it takes a long time. And Donald Trump does not really have the patience for that. And neither does his administration right now or the people around him. They want to get these people in office as quickly as possible. And it's why also, look, it's not just the administration, as you reported yesterday, they're drafting executive orders. They're doing everything they can that day one he has a staff in place, he has administrative jobs filled, and they have policy ready to go for him to sign off on. And again, that includes trying to look for ways to speed up the background process check.
Yeah, a lot going on very quickly. Kristen Holmes, great reporting.